What's up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam, back with another WWE Week in Review. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. Also, trying to get the audio version out as well. So, as always, what I like to do is I like to go over everything that happened in the world of WWE for programming. So, for Raw, NXT, Smackdown. So we got a big week. Go-home shows for Hell in a Cell that happened this Sunday, as well as sort of a go-home show for NXT because we have Halloween Havoc coming out next week. So we're going to jump right into it. Let's jump right in here. So we got Raw, which is also, the season premiere. So it's the go-home show for Hell in a Cell, as well as the season premiere. Fiend's music hits early. Alexa is in the ring. He's here, she says. Fiend's full entrance comes on. He comes out. They begin to hold hands and are just staring. Retribution's music hits. The Fiend and Alexa don't even move. No Mercedes Martinez with this group. I don't know. She's been pretty much dropped from the group or what. But even Mia Yim has barely done anything anyway. So, they surround the ring. They're not moving. The lights go out. Fiend and Alexa are gone. Hurt Business music comes out. Mia bails, obviously. A brawl ensues. Her Business stand tall. We know that there's going to be an 8-man tag later. Cedric does a tope con hero, takes everyone out from there. We get a Matt Riddle video package. And then we come back, and then we have that 8-man tag. So Dijak is celebrating, then catches a flatliner. Pretty stupid. Cedric blind tagged Bobby. Doesn't seem cool with it. Tom says Ali purposely didn't say anything last week to make us wait because they wanted to, because we all know that, they were scheduled to make some kind of comments about what happened, but they didn't. Okay. Cedric is handling Slapjack, gets distracted though. Standoff outside the ring. Fiend music hits, and he's on the Tron. They go into break. They come back from break. Absolutely nothing happened there. Shelton with a nasty German on Mace, step up knee. Lashley takes out all of them, choke slams Mace, spears on Dijak, gets broken up. Dijak looked like he's gained weight though, which doesn't look good for him. He gets put in the hurt lock for the submission win. The lights go out again. The Fiend is in their corner now, standing there. Ali saved from the Sister Abigail by Dijak, but he catches the Sister Abigail instead. Stare down with the Hurt Business. Alexa on the Tron saying let him in. So this is pretty bad for Retribution. Apparently they're supposed to be, like this dominating force, but they just got beat by Hurt Business. Then they got taken out by the Fiend. We also got a great promo later on, which I'll get to, by Ali, but didn't matter because they already look weak. I feel like that WWE has botched them and buried them. Obviously that can change because, look at like Dark Order or something like that everyone calls to, but this just is not a good look for them. Just even no explanation of why Raw even drafted them. Like the whole point of them was to destroy Raw, so why were they drafted by them? Just the as usual, the logic with WWE booking just makes no sense. We then get AJ versus Riddle. Jordan, who is the bouncer at Raw Underground, is now his bodyguard. There was no real explanation as to why. Booker T is in the Thunderdome. We get an AJ promo. Raw finally drafted a true leader. Jordan won't leave the ring though. The ref says he'll count to 5. Jordan stops him from counting. The ref pleads with him to just leave. So he finally does. We get rolling gut wrench suplexes by Riddle. Jordan blocks Riddle on the apron, just stands in front of him. And obviously Riddle doesn't want to get involved there. We get a Broton countered, and Riddle is launched outside the ring. We get a V-trigger by Riddle, and then a Pele by AJ. Stalling German suplex by Riddle. AJ hits the Ushigoroshi for a 2 count. We get a Fisherman Buster by Riddle for a 2 count. They both fight up to the top and crash to the mat floor. Riddle is distracted by Jordan, then goes back into the ring, gets hit with a Styles Clash for the win for AJ. Good match. I don't know what they're doing with Riddle at this point. I feel like at this point he's just there. All the goodwill that he had coming in from NXT is pretty much gone now. We get a Drew Randy video package. Drew backstage interview says this is going to be his first Hell in a Cell. There will be no horror, no respect because no honor, no respect because you don't deserve it. And then we get our Raw Women's title match, Asuka versus Lana. Asuka lock attacked Lana quick to the ropes. Asuka lock for the win. that was pretty much it. Nia and Shayna jump Asuka. Lana is begging, but still gets put through a table again by Nia. Asuka sends Shayna to the outside, but then flees. Back from break, Shayna and Nia are still in the ring. They're a team on the same page. They own the Raw and SmackDown divisions, even though it's also NXT, because as the tag team championships, they can go anywhere. Mandy and Dana answer the challenge. Lacey out as well, but then Peyton comes out. They're not on the same page, even on their entrance. But why did you get rid of the Iconics then if you're just going to put Peyton in a tag team with another wrestler? Logic. The Riot Squad are out too. And didn't they just lose, a tag team title match? And they looked pretty bad in the Battle Royal as well. But as always, we get a fatal four-way women's tag team title. I don't know if it was for the tag team title. Says it was, oh yeah. So then Tom says it was just an open challenge and not for the actual titles. Peyton dived from the apron, takes out everyone. Lacey with the moonsault and almost kills herself, which she did not get enough rotation on it. Looked bad. Riot Squad stereo dives from the top. Lacey doesn't even want to tag in. Nia double suplex on Mandy and Dana. She gets posted. V-trigger on Nia by Mandy. Swanton on Nia. Shayna breaks the count. Everyone's getting their moves in. Peyton just with an awful kick, barely even grazes whoever she kicks head. Shayna breaks up right. Pin attempt. We get Nia with a Samoan drop on Lacey for the win. So obviously they're just still dominant. Recap of Elias getting hit by the car from way back. An Elias concert. Song actually isn't pretty bad. He says, oh, you guys want an encore? So then we get one of the stagehands playing guitar. It's Hardy. He swings and misses. Elias flees. Obviously, they have a match coming up at Hell in a Cell. Ms. Morrison backstage. We get Miz is mad at Mandy. Morrison's mad about Lars. They're still talking about the court case over the briefcase. Tucky comes out. He's pissed. He says he'll find a partner to fight them. Morrison's hyping, and it's kind of funny when he's hyping Miz. Kofi versus Sheamus. So basically, Sheamus went from feuding with one member of the New Day to the other. Jeff Jarrett is out in the Thunderdome. We get Elias backstage. He's angry. He challenges Hardy at Hell in a Cell, so that's where the match comes from. Woods is talking about the dumpster fire that is 2020. Sheamus is out, and they have a back and forth. Kofi slammed on the apron on the outside. We get 10 beats of the Bowery by Sheamus. Big E's in the Thunderdome watching and cheering on his brothers. Sheamus with the cloverleaf. Kofi is able to reverse it into a 2 count. Avalanche, White Noise countered into an avalanche leg sweep by Kofi. Trouble in Paradise for the win. Mark Henry's in the Thunderdome celebrating with them. It was a lot of clunkiness here, but I just hope that this just doesn't turn into a long-winded feud with Sheamus and New Day. We get a promo by Retribution. Ali confirms, says his power isn't only strength in numbers. He confirms he was the hacker on SmackDown. Okay. We get, it's one of those things where he just turns shit into, gold. Because obviously losing the way they did earlier in the night, already people are down them. But his promo was banger because he's just great at that. We get Hurt Business backstage. They're really happy. Titus says he'd like to join. They just beat him up. So there you go. Titus, welcome to whatever, because you're back to catering. Miz Morrison versus Tucky and a mystery opponent. His partner is El Gran Gordo, which is basically just Otis in a luchador mask. Miz is like, listen, it's Otis. We know it's Otis. He calls him out. He just completely shits on him. Otis is always the underdog. So Tucky's in there battling. He gets the hot tag to El Gran Gordo. Otis with the lucha arm drag at one point, which I thought was actually kind of funny. Truth comes running in, distracts. Lucha House Party was one of the ones running after it. Then they watch as Otis hits the Caterpillar and the Vader Bomb for the win because they're like, oh, another luchador. So then, Otis completely takes them out. Backstage, Otis and Tucky and the New Day are celebrating. Mandy brings him a ham to celebrate. I thought that was funny. Firefly Funhouse, the first time on Raw in a while. Bray's unpacking now that he's on Raw. He says he'll make new friends on Raw. They flash of the Fiend from earlier. Ramblin says he's going to be a better father and husband. Bray never asked he didn't know that he was a father or a husband. And he's like, Ramblin, you never asked. Mercy still eats him anyway. And then Alexa is out the door. dressed up as doing her thing, her Harley Quinn thing. We then get Braun Strowman versus Keith Lee for, I don't even know, fifth time. I don't even know what's going on at this point. Flair's in the Thunderdome as well. Braun is talking smack, but he just got beat on Smackdown. Got choked out, submitted. Braun tries power slam, but his ribs still hurt from Smackdown. Splash by Lee for a 2 count. JBL's in the Thunderdome. Lee hits the pounce. Braun headbutts Lee in the balls, but Braun wins. Okay. Lee turns him around and kicks him straight in the balls. Says, "You took a shortcut. You're a monster. If you're the monster, I'm the dragon." Okay. I don't know. Same thing with Riddle, with Keith Lee. I feel like they've just completely just ruined this at this point. I have no desire to see Riddle or Keith Lee. I don't care about anything they're involved in at this point. I don't care about Braun Strowman, but I haven't cared about Braun Strowman for a while. Randy comes out. He has the cage lowered for his final promo. Says he remembered each match and learning something from each one. Rattles off the names of the people he faced. They're all legends. Drew is out. Randy locks himself inside. Drew pulls out bolt cutters, and as he's going in to the cell, it ends. We don't actually know what happened. We assume he just beat up Randy Orton. We then get to NXT. Let's just see what we have here. Okay, not bad. So we start off with a triple threat match: Ciampa versus Dream versus Kushida, which was set up last week when Ciampa and Kushida were facing each other, and Dream got involved. Ciampa attacks Dream. Kushida helps double team him. Ciampa is attacking Dream's cast, running knee on both on the outside. Kushida hits a flatliner on Ciampa into Dream's balls, which I thought was funny. Willow's Bell kind of centipede thing, kind of has them all like, you know the drill. Ciampa is chopping both in the corner. We get a Dream Valley driver on Kushida. Ciampa knee sends Dream to the outside. So then we get seated senton on Dream. Armbar on the floor, tapping, but they're not in the ring. Kushida attacks the arm of Ciampa. Ciampa is trying to hold off the armbar. We get a purple rainmaker on Kushida while that's going on. Ciampa breaks the count. Super kick, Death Valley driver on Ciampa. Kushida breaks the count there. We get Tope Con Heroes by Kushida on both. He then catches a Willow's Bell though. Ciampa gets hit with the cast. He's out, but Kushida hits a German bridge on Ciampa for the win. And then Dream is on the outside laughing about this, so I don't know if this is going to turn into just a specific Dream Ciampa feud, even though they're both heels. Not really sure. We get a Undisputed Era promo, which is pretty funny because there's like a stand with an iPad and Cole's there. He's still on the mend, but Strong and Fish will regain the tag team title, and the Prophecy will the Dripping in Gold Prophecy will happen again. So we get we're told we get a Haunted House of Terror match between Grimes and Loomis. Wade challenges Vic to a costume contest. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez video package. We then get an Ember Moon versus Jessica Maya match. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Ember is not letting Jessie get any momentum. She hits a standing moonsault. We get a crossface. Jessie counters into a pinning attempt. Ember with a modified half crab sends Ember. Jessie sends Ember into the corner. Jessie with some really nice offense though. Hits a code breaker and then Ember hits the code breaker and then a clutch type submission for the win. Which is really good. One, I'm glad that they gave Jessica May some offense because I really do think she's actually a pretty good wrestler there. I like the fact that they didn't have Ember win with the Eclipse because I feel it's a cool move. But one, the setup is sometimes awkward, and two, it's also just a lot of impact on your body and coming off of injury. And as I said with AEW, I enjoy seeing people win with maneuvers that aren't necessarily their main finishers, which is good. We get Dakota Kai with the post-match attack. Says that you're not going to use me to get yourself over. Fish is attacked backstage from behind. He says he doesn't know who attacked him. We then get Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed. New music again for Reed, it sounded like. Fish apparently was sent to the hospital, and Kyle O'Reilly is going to replace Fish, which is the best combination anyway of O'Reilly and Strong. Theory can't match his power. Finally realizes he has to wear Reed down. Wade calls out Beth for using the phrase "bad news," which I thought was funny. Eventually, Reed hits the tsunami splash for the win. Theory grabs a mic, says he's the future. He calls out Reed. He says he's not leaving this ring until he beats Reed. Reed comes back in. The match restarts. Pop-up Samoan drop by Reed for the win again. So 2 wins for him that night. So we get backstage with Xia Li and Casey Catanzaro interview. Casey accepted the challenge, says that, you had always been a friend. Xia says that she has to win this match. So then we get a quick shot of Theory in the parking lot, and he says that he quits. We'll see about that. Legado del Fantasma versus Swerve Scott, Adonis, and Jake Atlas. Atlas 3 Amigos on Joaquin Wilde. He goes the tightrope walking. We get Adonis fakes a tope. Says got him. Swerve with a twisting plancha misses on everyone though. LDF take advantage during picture-in-picture. Santos dive takes Swerve over commentary. Atlas with the cartwheel DDT off the commentary table, which I thought was cool. And then they get this, but eventually LDF hits this like high-low on Adonis for the win. This is a pretty good match, actually. I didn't get as many notes as I wanted. I was kind of tired at this point. We get the Garganos at home. And Johnny's like, everyone knows I hate wheels. So they're practicing like on a fake wheel. Johnny hits Buried Alive, then a casket match. And he's like, why is this, why does this match want to, this wheel want to kill me? He doesn't like not being in control, so he just walks off, storms off in anger. We get Drake and Dane versus Everrise. Eventually, the match doesn't go very long before Drake gets mad and comes out and beats the shit out of Everrise with a chair. They get DQ'd. He goes over to Dane because he expects to just get punched in the face, and Dane is just like marks out over it. He loves it. He's like, "Where's this guy been? Where's this guy been?" And then Drake is all happy. The music hits, and Dane is about to say cut the music, but he says, "You know what? Screw it," and just walks off. So eventually he's gonna do some kind of stupid dance. He's gonna be like a Rikishi or something like that. That's what I feel like. We get backstage. Roddy's taken out now. So we get Regal, Kyle O'Reilly, Fandango, Birch, and Lorcan are all backstage. Kyle O'Reilly says Birch and Lorcan should take the match because he can't find, obviously, another person to take it. So Fandango and Birch and Lorcan shake hands. They're going to get the tag team title match instead now. Xia versus Casey Catanzaro. We get Xia aggressive, showing her desperation to win. We get a Cazadora roll through by Casey for the win, though. Xia with the post-match attack takes out Caden Carter too. And then Raquel Gonzalez comes out, takes out everyone, and this is what awaits you, Rhea. That's what she says. So now that Xia Li is lost, we didn't see Boa here, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to wait till next week. Backstage with Cameron Grimes, said he didn't know about the stipulation, so he's all excited, and then all of a sudden, once he finds out the stipulation, his mood changes. Loomis is watching through a window in the door, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to beat Loomis. I'm going straight to the moon. Not as enthusiastic as he normally does. So EO promo, basically she says any stipulation that you can think of, she beats Kansas. So there you go. Thatch's Thatch Can Live. A lesson tonight is success, aggression, and no mercy. Can't get the student's name right. Calls him his name is Anthony. I think he calls him Alex and he calls him Andrew. Puts him in a cravat for a tap out. Then rolls through into a Kimura. The student is pissed. Takes the leg, then applies the cravat. Brings the ref in, or Thatch is like, oh, all right, whatever. So brings a ref in for a match. Thatch wins easily with a single leg crab submission. We get a Priest promo getting a tattoo. Says he understands why Johnny attacked him, but he's still the same. Priest is he's still the same Johnny, but Priest is here now though, and obviously Johnny's not going to win. NXT tag title. We get our Breezango versus Birch and Lorcan. Breezango in control through picture-in-picture. Fandango goes to the top. Someone in a mask attacked him and throws him to the ground. Birch hits a low blow. They hit their spike combo DDT finisher for the win. Birch and Lorcan are the new champs. So the guy who attacked them with the mask on comes in to celebrate. It's Pat McAfee. So clearly Pat McAfee was the guy who paid off Ridge Holland, assuming maybe this was going to be some kind of War Games setup. But I'm sure they can find someone else to get in there. He starts mocking the Undisputed Era, and there is your NXT for the week. And finally, the go-home show for Hell in a Cell for Smackdown. What did I say was... Hold on. did I say it was? I can't remember. I know I said one of these matches was my match of the week. Did I already say it? Oh yeah, I know what I said. Never mind. Alright, so we're at Smackdown now. So we start out with the KO show. He asks if everyone is where they're supposed to be, just, making fun of the contractual obligations and the faux brand split. It's funny because it was preceded by a Law and Otis graphic, even though Miz and Morrison are on Raw now. Daniel Bryan is his guest. They push each other to their limits. Bryan is looking to the future of SmackDown, says they have the best fresh young talent. He wants the title to be defended every week on SmackDown, specifically the IC title. Obviously a subtle shot at Sami Zayn. KO wants to talk to him about being the tag team titles. Says he's never been a tag champ. Bryan makes jokes about him betraying a lot of people. So he's like, I already got our team name, Team Hell KO. And Bryan's like, well, no, that would be you tagging with Kane. So Dolph and Rude come out, say basically, obviously you want fresh and young talent. Here we are. And then he's like, hey, KO, it's a talk show. You knew it was going to get interrupted, which I thought was funny. Then the Street Profits come out. Then Shinsuke and Cesaro come out. They said they were carrying the tag division. A brawl breaks out. You know what's going to happen next. 8-man tag. Street Profits, KO, and Bryan versus Dolph, Rude, Cesaro, and Shinsuke. Any face is getting handled by the heels in this match. Hot tag to Bryan from Montez Ford. First action since the finals of the Intercontinental Tournament for Daniel Bryan. Bryan does the backflip, sells the knee injury. Back from commercial, Bryan is still taking heat. Hot tag to Dawkins. He's cleaning house. Jumping knee, gut wrench, powerbomb combo on Dawkins by Cesaro and Shinsuke. But eventually the cash out on Cesaro for the win. I mean, the height of Montez Ford just every week is just getting higher and higher. It's crazy. So we get our first segment of Law and Otis. We get the Law and Order opening, and then the People's Court music, so it's not really consistent there, but it's kind of funny. Ron Simmons is the bailiff, which is awesome. JBL is the judge. Miz decides to give the opening statement himself. He says case law is on his side, and he actually only says actual one case that is on his side, but this is not a real legal proceeding, and speaking of case law, it's funny. Going back to my days in law school. Otis deserves it. So Otis gives his own opening statement, just basically says he deserves it because he won the match. And Mrs. Attorney's like, that's a good argument, and Miz fires her right there. We get a to be continued. We get Bianca versus Zelina. We get a nice Bianca video package. The ring gear that Bianca was rocking was awesome. It was white with the SmackDown logo all over it. It was pretty cool. Street Profits and Kevin Owens and Bryan are celebrating backstage, and then Bryan's like, "Fist me, bros," and they're like, "What?" And they do it anyway, and then they all just teleport out of there, and then Sammy comes over to speak to Bryan, says, "I know you were bad mouthing me. I don't share your vision. I'm the Intercontinental Champ. I decide when I defend it." So I guess, at first I didn't know if we were just bringing back this Bianca-Zelina feud, because they did mention it, but I didn't know where they're going to go from here. But basically I knew this was no push for Zelina. Any push that they were slightly giving her on Raw is probably going to be gone now. Also, I don't know, now that she's on, on SmackDown, obviously there's not going to be any feud with with Alexa, The Fiend, Andrade, that whole thing. So I guess that was just a one-time thing. Bianca hits a press slam, standing moonsault to the back of Zelina. Basically clean and jerks her, dropped on the top turnbuckle, and then hits the KOD for the win. This is just absolute destruction by Bianca. She looked great. Zelina had some decent moves in there, but it was just never in doubt. We had a Lars video package, and then Shorty G is in the ring for an interview. He says he's fed up. He can't get drafted by either brand. It's disrespect. So he's going to prove that he belongs by challenging Lars Sullivan. Lars comes out, caught into a fallaway slam. He's absolutely destroyed. Freak accident for the win. Kayla comes up to him Shorty G, as he's, basically just destroyed, says, he quits. And I'm like, okay, Austin Theory. So we're going to have this now. Backstage interview with Rollins. He'll face Murphy tonight. And then Murphy needs to understand his role. Roman is in his room not wanting to eat, so he'll reveal the tribal consequences later on. Shorty G's in the trainer's room getting looked at. Pierce comes over, wants to check in on him, says, I know I heard you quit. says he's done being Shorty G character. This whole thing is so stupid. He says the only person that could, do this is an Olympian, is the champion, is Chad Gable. So Chad Gable is back. Thank God. Shorty G was so stupid. I mean, but they're not going to do anything with him anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So Bayley's in the ring, sitting in the chair. Interviews this morning, kept asking about her and Sasha. She mocked Sasha, saying her name is bigger, when Sasha said her name was bigger than the title. It's like, ding dong, you're not the boss of me. So Sasha comes out with the contract in hand. Bayley tries to hit her with the chair, misses. Sasha grabs the title, holds it hostage for the contract, but eventually Sasha with a knee and puts Bayley's head in the chair. Bayley is able to fight out, but Sasha gets her with her head in the chair in a clutch, and Bayley signs. Sasha says she's not going to let go until Bayley signs. Bayley signs, she lets go. Sasha's holding the title, and she's going to finish what Bayley started. So that's interesting, the way they ended it and who stood tall there. So I'll talk about that in my Hell in a Cell preview and predictions video, which will be there'll be a link at the end of this one, probably, unless you're watching it right away, because I have to upload everything. So we get Morrison on the stand. Back to Law and Otis. Morrison's on the stand. Otis assaults a lot of people. Scars are in the heart that hurt the most. Ray's on the stand. Otis won straight up, and he deserves it. Asuka's on the stand, screaming in Japanese. Teddy Long is the stenographer, saying that he got all that. And then Asuka's doing the holla, holla, holla. Tucky's on the stand. Miz crossed the line. So Miz asked to treat him as a hostile witness. And then JBL's like, it's about time. So he's like, he deserved it. Tucky wants to beat the crap out of Miz. After he says JBL will render his verdict, but my thing is Otis didn't get to call any witnesses or cross examine any of these witnesses, so that was really weird. So JBL says something is missing, the truth. You're saying hostile work environment, all these things. He goes, Otis is a WWE superstar. That's in the job description. And JBL is about to rule for Otis, but Miz says he has one last piece of evidence. He gives a briefcase. JBL opens. You hear the dollar signs. Then JBL rules for Miz, says Miz will face Otis at Money in the Bank for the case. Obviously, we had to have a Ron Simmons damn at the end. So then we get Seth versus Murphy, a nice video package. Luckily, we only got one video package as opposed to when we were on Raw. We'd get like 3 video packages per episode. Aaliyah is watching backstage. Seth continuing to call Murphy a disciple. Seth back body dropped onto commentary. Ray and Dom confront Aaliyah while she's watching. She just wants to watch, though, and see what happens. Murphy with a tope con hero almost completely clears Seth. That was crazy. A top rope Meteora by Murphy for a 2 count, selling that he hurt his shoulder. He's trying to pop it back in. Seth with the dive to the outside and a springboard knee for a 2 count. Seth does an arm wringer on the apron. Aaliyah looks concerned. We get the sunset flip powerbomb attempt by Murphy, but Seth counters it, but Murphy hits cheeky blinders instead. Seth hits a buckle bomb. Murphy with the V trigger for a 2 count. It's just a slugfest then. Seth hits the Falcon Arrow, but only gets a 2 count. A lot of counters back and forth. Finally, Seth hits the arm wringer and the stomp for the win. Seth then grabs the kendo stick. Aaliyah asks Ray and Dom for help. Says, all right, well, if you're not going to help, I will. She goes out to the ring after a couple of shots from the kendo stick from Seth to Murphy. She goes in the ring to protect him. Dom comes out, and Seth goes out of the ring, but he comes back in and attacks Dom. Ray comes out with a chair. Seth runs, and then they're both, Aaliyah is kind of like holding Murphy, and Ray and Dom are just kind of pissed off that where everything is going, and Murphy has this kind of look like he's staring at Ray and Seth, because he kind of understands. I think he kind of understands that he's causing havoc here. But I don't think he's meaning to do it on purpose, obviously, unless it's just one really long con, which would be actually interesting to see. Someone goes to Roman's door, some production person says it's time, Paul says it's time, and Roman says it's time. So Roman Reigns comes out to the ring, and then what we think Jay is on the Tron in Roman's room, messing with the food, says it used to be good to be the cousin of the tribal chief. Roman's changed. He brings down the mask. It was actually Jimmy. He's like, yeah, Jay's in the ring and he's behind you. So he attacks. Jay with the chair, Roman counters. Jay hits the super kick and the big splash, and then goes up the ramp. Jimmy meets him on the ramp. They're celebrating, all happy. So Roman says this is a game. He's like, if I quit, then I quit. But if Jay quits, which he's like, I'm gonna make you quit. You're gonna fall in line. You're gonna call me the tribal chief. You will acknowledge me. But if you lose and you don't acknowledge me, you're out. Your family, your brother's family, your descendants, everyone turn their back on them. So the cell comes down, Jay climbs, and they have a stare down. So that's how it goes off the air. I really like the way they've been doing it with Smackdown, especially with Jay and Roman. Just enough, it doesn't overpower us. It doesn't take over the show. We get a little shot of them earlier on, and then we get just this segment at the end. I think it's just perfect the way they've been doing it. So there you have it. That is my WWE week in review. As always, I do my match of the week. That's obviously going to be Seth and Murphy. It was a pretty long match. I think there was at least 2 commercial breaks in between, but it was just a banger of a match. Obviously, these two have had the animosity has been rising between them. I don't know whether or not this is going to lead to finally ending this whole thing with the Mysterios and Seth and Murphy at this point. I hope so. Obviously, we're going to get this blow-off match for Ray and Seth at some point. I don't know if it's going to be Hell in a Cell. We'll see. I'm going to check to see if there any new matches have been assigned before I do my Hell in a Cell preview and predictions video. But yeah, it was just a banger of a match. Right person won. Obviously, Murphy doesn't lose anything by this. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's going to get his. He's going to eventually go on to really good things. So there you have it. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. Look out for my AEW weekend review as well as my Hell in a Cell preview and predictions video. And so as always, be safe, love each other, and bye now.